Yeah, yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
yeah.
Yes,
yeah. We
sir.
we
Yo, we
live, we
live,
live.
brother. We live on everything. YouTube,
Yeah,
For
we
sure.
go.
Twitch. We straight.
Yeah,
I like that
I
shirt,
love to
Johnny.
see it.
yeah. What's
I
going on,
appreciate that, my
everybody?
brother.
This is the start of a new era. We a little late to the podcast game, but it's all right. The effect gonna be the same, or even more. This is the Uncalled For Podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we just gonna do our thing, So, just to give a little background about us, man, we all been friends since high school, or maybe even beyond for some of us. But man, we just talk anything really. We mainly gonna talk about sports, but we're gonna talk about music. We're gonna talk about a little bit of cultural stuff. It's gonna be a lot of things that we're gonna touch on. And man, just stay tuned. Don't be afraid to subscribe, like, share. Just want to introduce the group a little bit. I'm that boy Hines. We got that boy Bennett in the fresh suit up there. We got D Scott, also known as School.
Show the
We
wrist,
got
dog.
they want you to show the wrist, yes sir.
Tell 'em
We
buzzing
got
on my
Don Juan Perry on.
Let's get it.
We got Coach, and we got that boy Short. Man, it's been a lot going on. It's been a lot going on lately, man. This week, obviously, we had the NBA Finals. So, shoot, let's just start off with that. Episode 1, we're going to start off with the NBA Finals. What's y'all thoughts on it?
trash.
Yeah. I thought the NBA Finals. Me personally, I thought that shit was pretty exciting. I know everybody's had their thing about the small markets, but if you actually like watched it, it was outside of Game Seven. Obviously, I thought we had a good series. And as you can see by the numbers, everybody tuned into Game Seven. It was the most watched Game Seven in what the last six finals or the last six Game Sevens, I should say. Hold on, brother. There's some stats out there to back that up. But with that being said, yeah, nah, me personally, I enjoyed it. I think it's some rising stars with Shai and Holly. They kind of showed off what they was about. They need more exposure. I think that's an NBA problem as to why, you know what I'm saying, the viewership was the way it was. But me personally, I thought it was good hoops.
I would love to piggyback off of that. I think the NBA completely failed in terms of marketing this thing. So
Facts.
I want to preface this. These are two really good teams, Indiana and OKC, with two star players on the teams, Halliburton and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I said Gilgeous-Alexander, who was also the MVP. And they did an awful job generating interest for this series. That's why you saw these low ratings. And let me start with this. We all saw it game 1. The presentation of the game of the finals was awful. There was nothing special.
Facts.
There was no aura. Nothing drew us to watch that other than the fact that if you were a ball knower, if you watched ball, you knew it was the NBA Finals. There was nothing to the casual fan that was appealing from a marketing standpoint. Another thing, too, is the commentary team. I think it's been terrible, man, on ESPN. So you got Mike Breen, Doris Burke, Richard Jefferson. There's no chemistry there. And if you want to compare them to when it was Breen, Mark Jackson, and Van Gundy, them three had chemistry, and they meshed really well together. So now you got this new team. They're hard to listen to. There's really no flow to the game when they're talking. So you got that aspect to it. And then my third point would be the pregame, halftime, and postgame show was so bad. You got Stephen A. up there, Kendrick Perkins, Bob Myers, who us Warrior fans like, but I don't think his analysis really sticks to us as fans. And then I think the girl's name is Malika Andrews. She's okay, but still, I mean, just all that put together takes away from what was happening on the court, which led to people not watching. So, yeah.
Facts.
I respect that. I think the biggest thing for me was the presentation, like you were saying, Johnny. I mean, for the NBA Finals, you just want to feel like it's an experience, bro. I don't think we got that. We got robbed of it as fans because you look at the court, you have the NBA Finals logo, you have all all that stuff on the court that mainly makes it pop and stand out. And then even for the pregame intro, they had to beg the commissioner to even have that added in the game for the intro So I feel like it kind of was we missed out on a lot. They could have made it better for sure. I think the hoops was solid. Honestly, when we talking about the game itself, shout out to OKC, shout out to the Pacers. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of either team. Not because of the market. I just don't have a player that really draws me there. Shout out to Shai, shout out to Halliburton. Y'all know I got my own opinions about them.
You don't have to shout them out. You don't have to shout them out.
They might tune in one day. They might, you know what I mean? We might even get them on the show. So that, you feel me? But Shay, you ain't gonna mess with me for this one. But I don't like the way you play basketball, brother. I respect it. Get your 30 a game. But when you guys shoot 10 free throws a game for your team to win, and this is backed by stats. Every game he shot 10 free throws or more, they won. If they shot less, they lost. So, Kitty, my biggest question is, does Shai need free throws to be great? Or is like he just, like, you feel me, is that just the way the game is nowadays? We just letting foul baiting be the new meta. But that's all my take on the finals.
Man, I gotta go next.
First off,
go ahead.
No, I'll take the mic.
All right, bet.
Yeah, Zach?
I gotta go next, man. I do not agree with the Shai comments, but I do think it was a great finals. I can't lie. First, I gotta start off by saying, Holly, hold your head. Because, man, I think that Pacers would have won. Pacers would have won if Holly was there. I can't lie. The game would have been completely different. He just brings a different aspects to the game. He's just too clutch in clutch time. So I think Shai is a great player. I think he is the best player in the league currently. So I can't agree with Miles' comments. I think they're a little wild. I can't lie. Can't lie to you. He's a game changer. He deserves his MVP. And he plays like Miles' favorite player. Honestly, he plays like Kobe. He's a young Kobe in the game, man. So I got to give Shai his respect.
Damn.
Got to give him his respect. He put up Kobe numbers. When Kobe got to put up numbers, I gotta keep it real. So, but shout out to OKC though. But Pacers would have won. They had a little Warrior situation going on when they played Toronto back in the day. So,
Zach, you got into something interesting. You said you would have thought that the Pacers would have won. Scoob, what you think on that? If Halliburton, I think he had 9 points before he got hurt. He got hurt in the first quarter still. What you thinking about that?
That shit would have went from 20 to 10. It wouldn't have been no different outcome. It wouldn't have been no different outcome. That nigga was in the game. It went from 20 to 10 at the end of the day. Like, I mean, I think they're both good ass ball clubs for real, but at the end of the day, bro, no one's trying to see Tyrese Halliburton. SGA. I mean, SGA is good. Yeah. See what Miles talking about, like 10 free throws, but I feel like that's where he come from. He come from like the older, I'm not gonna say the older generation, but the get to the bucket, get the foul, slow the game down, control the game. I feel like he can control the game like that. But at the end of the day, no one's trying to see that shit. The whole world knew the Thunder was gonna win. Like, I'm just surprised that she went to Game 7.
Yeah. I think, man, it's a couple of points. First of all, nobody brought up the two trophies on the court that they did for one game, and that was it. This is like, here you go. Damn, stop complaining. Mm-hmm. And it was damn visuals. So it's like we didn't even get. I like what you said, Johnny. Man, like just the presentation. And I think I was saying this in the group. Man, I didn't even know the NBA draft was coming up until yesterday. Like, it seems like everything is rushed, right? It seems like it's a whole now. You know, they're playing games every other day. People are getting hurt left and right because it's not enough rest in the playoffs. We've seen 3 guys tear their Achilles. Steph, he had a hamstring thing, and it seems like the NBA from an organization structure standpoint are not doing the NBA justice. And I think it's because they're trying to have that in-season tournament be such a thing. So now they got to do everything else on the back end to kind of squeeze it into the same type of schedule. So it's like, man, like if you're going to have the in-season tournament, I think you're going to need less games just so to give yourself time to, as an organization, to prepare and kind of market, like Johnny is saying, market Indiana. Shoot, Indiana had one of the best runs we've seen in recent history. It sucks that they couldn't have their star player or one of their star players to finish off the game. But, man, they had one of the best runs. The Thunders had one of the best seasons in NBA history. They had what? I seen a stat the other day where they had the most margin of victories, the most points. That was over the Warriors. It was over the Bulls. It was over the Showtime Lakers. They had like all of that, right? But like Scoob was saying, like Miles was saying, like it was nothing appealing to them. So it's no fault of like the Thunder and the Pacers, but because they played great basketball, they was doing amazing things on the court. But I feel like that was more of the NBA not doing their job, like Johnny was saying.
Yeah,
I
let me
gotta
get into this real
oppose,
quick.
brother. I gotta step in and say something because I disagree. I don't know what you wanted the NBA to do in this situation. To be honest, like there was two teams that I'm not a fan of either of these teams, but both these teams kind of abhor the field to themselves. Like we look at how the OKC Thunder had won. Looking at the locker room, it wasn't the same feel that we got from past championship teams. Like I don't think there was much marketing the NBA could have done because I don't think these players on these teams are that marketable. To be quite frank, they're great players. They get the job done on the court, but off the court, they don't have much to offer compared to some of the past championship teams that we've actually seen. To be honest with you, I don't see most of these players off the court. I
The
don't.
Pacers game got there by default though, because like three people got injured, three stars got injured on the East, and the East is already trash. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy. It's easy to slip into the finals as a Pacer team. Now, if it was a Thunder versus Celtics, now I mean, I might have would have tapped in a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Would have been more excited to see the game, but
And that's
I mean, it's just
valid.
the
And
Pacers.
that go along with my point too. Like it's just these two teams are just kind of boring teams in general. Like no, like I don't think the NBA could have did much with these teams. To be honest,
Hold
they
on,
I say that.
like
hold on. This is where you're wrong, bro. Because the Pacers is far from boring, bro. We've seen that through this postseason, and we've seen that last postseason. And this is where I think the NBA messed up. Because, like Ant said, they've been trying to market this in-season tournament, and I think they've done a great job, obviously, because they want the beginning of the season to match the end of the season because no one really give a fuck about the beginning of the season. But if you look specifically during, like, it was literally handed to the NBA. The Pacers in that in-season tournament was giving everybody trouble. Like, I think they were like damn near must-see TV, or not must-see, but you had to tune in because that's when you had Holly mocking Dame doing the Dame time shit. Like the writing was on the wall, and yet going into this season, I looked at the numbers. The Pacers only had 14 primetime games, so you're not even giving the average viewer the opportunity to look at the Pacers unless it's on a TNT game or ESPN game. But like I said, only 14 compared to the Warriors and the Lakers. They own national television 36, 39 times a season. So obviously that's who we want to see because that's what the NBA is pushing. They're not trying to push these small market teams, which is the complete opposite of the NFL. Like the NFL really don't care about a small market. Like if they got raw talent, dope talent on that team, they're gonna throw that team on a primetime game, whether that be a Monday night or Sunday night, or at least attempt to like put them in a slot like the 1 o'clock slot. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the NBA tries that. They try to juice what they can off LeBron and Steph every single year. Because like I said, the writing was on the wall with the Pacers last year's run when they was going through the Knicks. Even though they got swept by the Celtics said they gave them the hardest challenge. Like they got to the finals and dog walked the Mavs, but they was in a dogfight with the Celtics or with the Pacers. And I think that's without Halliburton because he was hurt. Or I think they were down somebody, but they still took the Celtics. Like they got swept, but it was still like it was a good 4 games. So I think that's where the NBA fucked up at is they too focused on. Obviously, you got to focus on Steph and company, but they're not even trying to promote their small market teams. And so when you get to the situation in the finals, why? Like, of course, people are gonna be like, why do I want to watch these two teams that we have not seen on national television? Like, who are these dudes? Like, and that's where I think the NBA messes up. They're not really focusing on their small market teams when they should. Because Holly, I ain't gonna call him a superstar, but he's definitely one. He was one in the making prior to his Achilles injury. We'll see what he does when he bounces back. But he had that quality, bro. Like he was looking like must-see TV. And at Game 7, bro, 9 points in 6 minutes. He was finna take off, bro. He was finna have one of those like memorable performances at the biggest stage, bro. And it's unfortunate that he got hurt that we couldn't see it. So I'm gonna have to disagree with you completely on that shit. NBA could have definitely done some shit to market the Pacers way better than what they did all throughout the season.
Zach, let me ask you this. What's
okay.
the last memorable marketing tool? What's the last memorable marketing tool that you remember the NBA doing?
The last memorable marketing tool.
I remember coming up.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna say the Olympics. Personally, I was gonna say the Olympics. I think they did a great job marketing the Olympics. Everybody watched the Olympics. Everybody tuned into the Olympic team. They wanted to know what was going on. If it was between the drama between Tatum not playing, it was between Steph and LeBron going crazy when they needed to play and step up to the plate. KD, they showcased new players like Halliburton and Anthony Edwards coming in and showing up in moments when they needed to show up. So I think they do that. And then to go back to Aaron's point, I think that they do a good job with Halliburton, but I still haven't heard any other Pacer besides Halliburton. We keep saying Halliburton, but there's how many other players on that bench that we don't know about? I mean, Pascal Siakam maybe, but off the court, besides that little weird thing he did pregame, we don't know anything about that man. We really don't. I don't think they did a good job marketing anybody. To be honest, we don't know anything about that team. Besides they play great basketball.
They can't market 1 through 15 on a roster, bro.
They can do it themselves.
We've seen them market.
That's what I'm saying.
On certain teams, we've seen them market Steph, Draymond, and Clay. We've seen them market Kyrie, LeBron, Iman. We've marketed people we've seen Shaq and Kobe and Paul Gasol. We've seen Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu. They failed this time, and I agree with y'all. They did fail. But they failed in the point of they didn't really do a great job. They didn't market the Pacers. They just marketed Halliburton and Shai, and that was the biggest problem.
I mean, the Olympics also gonna put him uphill because I swear he didn't play a game. That's I'm not gonna watch this nigga if he ain't playing in the Olympics. Why would I go watch the Pacers? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? If he ain't playing with Among the Stars, a must-watch TV, he ain't getting no tick, he ain't getting no burn. I'm not gonna watch him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he said, I don't know, you can't, no one's trying to watch the Pacers, bro. From the start of the season, no one's trying to watch the Pacers at the end of the day. It's unfortunate for a small market, but I'm not
it just goes back to none of these players are really likable like that. It's unfortunate. Maybe I sound like an old head, and that's just me. But like Zach was saying, the Pacers, they didn't do a good job marketing. We don't know who anybody else is. I mean, you got Matherin, TJ Nash. I mean, and he only made some noise because he was going crazy in that third quarter. I mean, but after that, it's come on, bro. It's not really.
You got to start somewhere, though.
Memorable.
Who's trying to watch?
Here's the truth about it. Basketball is a growing sport globally right now. The WNBA is growing. It's growing globally, like I just said. College basketball is always, when March Madness comes around, everybody's tuning in for it. So how, over the last 5 years, has the NBA been on a steady decline?
It's the mark. They suck. I don't know what it is, because the talent is as better as it's ever been. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason that the ratings should be as low as it is right now. I think I've seen something where it's the lowest it's been since COVID. There's no reason for that to be when we have the rising stars with AE, John Morant, all these other dudes, and you still got Bron and Steph doing what they do, KD doing what they do at a high level. And when you try, in my mind, I think they're just fucking up because, like Ant said, they trying to prioritize this in-season tournament. No one really care about that, for real.
Nobody cares.
Then they're going all out for that, and then they're trying to go all out for an All-Star game where the players don't even care. They spending their time on shit that nobody care about. If the players don't want to play in an All-Star game, or give 100%, they not gonna do it. Whether you break it up and do it like how they did this year, where they did 3 different games in a setting, or I think next year they're gonna try to do USA versus the world. We don't these niggas don't gotta prove nothing to the world no more. That is not going to excite them. It's too much money in the NBA and on the line right now for them to try to go 100% in an All-Star game. That's just where we're at now. I'm not finna risk a calf strain or a twisted ankle for an All-Star game. That's just where we're at, and there's no going back to that. Unfortunately, back then they wasn't making this type of money. They didn't have the opportunity to make $300 million in a contract. Like, so why, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why he's so hell-bent on fixing those two things. Like, worry about the end-of-season product. That's all that matters at the end of the day. And, yeah, that I don't know who's in Adam Silver's ear right now, but it's the wrong people, bro.
So are we paying the NBA
ears.
players too much, and it's watering down the product?
No, that's what it is, though. He just said it. It's like, it's the money thing. Now people are getting $300 million. Now getting 60, 70 million. Like, the money is like, again, nowadays is forcing them to make in-season tournaments, USA versus the world. Like, they got to make this money some way, somehow. They can't just rely on the All-Stars and bringing in people. No, I went to the All-Star game. I paid about $400 for 40 minutes. It was to the point where people were just jacking up half court shots just to extend the game. Just to extend the game, though. Like, because if it's really like that, like, they could score 45 points in 10 minutes. These are NBA players. Like, they could have ended that game like in 20 minutes. But they had to prolong the game, shooting half court shots and all this. Like, the All-Star game is a joke now. So I see why they're making the U.S. the world and making in-season tournaments. They got we broke.
It's not fixing, but do you think that's fixing something though? Like, do you think if they do a USA, like kind of like what hockey did, where they did the four countries versus each other or something like that? Like, hockey players' mentality is different than basketball's clearly. Like, I don't think dudes, just because they see a team with Shai, Giannis, and such on the other side, I don't think they're finna go out and try to prove nothing, especially when we just had the Olympics and we proved that, like, we still them niggas in basketball. Like, we don't need to prove that in an All-Star game now. Like,
but this is what they need to do. This is what they need to do right here, bro. They need to put $500,000 up on the table, and line up the best 24 players, have them run ones, and make it a tournament, bro. And sell that for All-Star Weekend. And I guarantee
they want that shit too.
I guarantee you that ratings will go out the roof.
But we're talking about the NBA Finals, bro. Like, that's
true.
The issue. Nobody's watching the NBA Finals.
But wait, to that point though, you had mentioned the presentation was the biggest thing. I feel like when we was kids, bro, I remember Miami was in the NBA Finals. They had the commercialization. They had the music behind it. They had even the presentation of the game. Bro, there was fire. There was like it was a whole thing. So if they could get back to that, and honestly, they already have the playbook if they did it before. They just got to go back and take it again. And then but let me just one more point. And two, if they could do a halftime performance, just get somebody out there. It don't matter who it is. Shoot, it could be I don't know. It could be whoever. If they could do a halftime performance. After every game, during every game, maybe that could get the ratings up. I think that would be a great start for the NBA.
I think y'all brought up some, but I think the biggest problem with the NBA is not the NBA itself. I think the players aren't playing with the same passion that they used to play with anymore. I think that's the big. We don't see the passion of Kobe anymore. The last there's like 3 players in the league that play with passion. That's Steph, LeBron, and Kyrie. We don't see that same passion no more, like, without of these players. Like, and I don't think they see the point of putting the money in the back and behind it. For what?
SGA don't play with passion?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I see a lot of
passion out there,
that man put 30 Edwards got that dog.
I ain't gonna play with passion. I ain't gonna play
30 points a game. That's some goddamn passion. You know what I'm saying? The Finals MVP and the season MVP. Like, that's some passion.
I think at the end of the day, with the marketing piece and with the fan base and everything, like, we went 4 straight years with Cavs versus Warriors. And people was like, man, I'm really getting sick of this series. LeBron versus Steph, 4 straight years. And it was kind of getting watered down, right? The first 2 years, well, even with the first year, Kyrie got hurt, Kevin Love got hurt. So it was still a good product with the first game. The second game, or the second year, you had the 3-1. That was an amazing peak for that series. But after that, you had a game in 5, and then you had a sweep. Now we're entering the NBA where the last 7 years there's been a different champion. So I think it's the perfect time for, like, the NBA to really try to exploit that of saying we're not just LeBron, we're not just Steph Curry. We are a whole NBA thing. And like I said, with the marketing piece, man, we used to have Christmas commercials that was just memorable. with the shots. You used to have the Kobe versus LeBron thing. Even though LeBron didn't go to the finals that year, everybody still remember that. Like the NBA, you wanted to tune in more. Shoot, this year I don't even think. I think we talked about like the NBA playoffs presentation before the playoffs started. They had like a little 15-second little skipping. Usually they used to have like a minute 30. So I think, man, like at the end of the day, I don't think obviously the players could work on a lot, but I feel like the NBA is failing its players by the marketing piece. And like Zach, I think you did bring up a good point because Halliburton's getting mentioned every day while Pascal's playing the best every day. So it's just like, man, like they need to figure it out. But shoot, I think going along, even with Shai, as impressive as he is and what he's done this year and, you know, the last couple of years, would y'all consider him the best Thunder of all time?
You got to.
Yes.
You got to. He's the first Thunder to bring the ring back home to the city. Like, and that's all that matters. And not only that, but he got the numbers to back it up. You look at his last 3 years, I don't know the exact point totals, but over 30 a game. You know what I'm saying? MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP, Finals MVP, got the ring. Like, and there's no disrespect or discredit to KD and Russ, but like, I know their competition was a little like more challenging because you go against the 2011 Miami Heat, but like at the end you didn't get it done. Like, and Shai and them did, and I guarantee you, Thunder fans will tell you the same thing. Like, yeah, it's Shai over KD and over Russ. Like, it might be Shai Russ KD or Shai Russ Harden KD since KD snaked him. Like, I don't really think they really fuck with KD like that for real, but it gotta be. I don't see how you can make an argument for Shai not being the greatest Thunder of all time. Like, the numbers back it up, the accolades back it up. He's got the presentation of like just like who he is as a person outside of basketball. That shit back it up. Like, I don't know. It's just all there for him. Like, for him to be the greatest of all time. So that's my take on that.
He gonna get a statue for sure. He gonna get
Absolutely.
Yeah, before the season.
Yeah. Crazy statue. He gonna get.
He don't even gotta wait till his career is over either. He might get that bitch next season.
Miles said he gonna get a statue of him at the free throw line.
Oh, that's the best one they could do right there. 10 free throws a game, boy.
Hey, that statue is a statue.
That statue.
Hey,
I'm talking about shoes on that motherfucker.
Right. I could be sitting on the motherfucking bench.
Let's be real though, man. Come on, he ain't better. I respect him. I respect the title. I respect the hardware. He won. But like you said, he's going up against different competition. I mean, KD, Russ had to go up against prime Steph, prime LeBron. Like what? You had the Spurs that were in their prime. Like it wasn't no cakewalk for him. Like you say, he got it done. But when the job, it's like me. If I only have to lift one box and the other dude has to lift like 20, like of course I'm gonna get the job done because it's easy. Like, bro, let's be real. And that team has the chemistry, respect. They've been together for a while. I know the numbers go to it, but listen, if I'm looking at it from a player by player, I'm not looking at no stats, none of that. I'm just looking at the player and their game. I'm taking Kevin Durant all day, every day as a Thunder. Because Kevin Durant Thunder put up the best basketball we've seen. And literally, he was the most unguardable person on the planet when he was on OKC. I mean, when he went to the Warriors, he took it to a different level, of course. But they started a game plan for him. But he was literally the soul of that team next to Westbrook. I mean,
hold on.
It was
let me ask
the
this question.
guardable person in the league at that time.
If you hold on, Zach. Let me ask this question. Put yourself in the shoes of a Thunder fan, and KD snaked y'all. Would you even consider him the greatest Thunder of all time? Like
I said, I'm removing the ring from it.
Not even. But he was up 3-1. He had the opportunity to get back to a finals, and if you look at his numbers in that series, it was not great. You know what I'm saying? So he's part of their failure. Like, he's part of that failure. And then to not only lose 3-1 to go to a finals, you just go to the team that beat you. Like, how could you be the greatest person in that? I feel like that has to play a factor in it a little bit. Y'all don't think so?
Then he
Nah,
named
respect.
teams. He said he named the Spurs. He named the Warriors. He named the Lakers. Bruh, he wasn't more unguardable than Tim Duncan, Kobe, Steph Curry. What?
Oh, he's still on that.
He said he was
Duncan,
most
He's
unguardable.
still on that. He's still on-
I mean, the West is
he-
stacked, bro. So SGA's resume of winning that is crazy. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He went to get some real talent, some real stars. Pretty much every team on the West has the guy or a star or a franchise player. So for him to go out there and win that, I mean, regardless getting to the line, get it done how you get it done. 30 is 30
Right.
at the end of the day. I don't
That's
care if
true.
I'm fast break. I don't care if I'm fast break cherry picking. I got 30 and I average 30, and I got an MVP and a Finals MVP. And I
Facts.
still-
That's
and
what.
I'm
That's
getting
why we
money
talking
outside
about the
of
finals
basketball.
right now, though, y'all. That's
Yeah.
why we having this conversation about the finals. That's why we have these questions about the game right now, man. That's all I'm saying.
What that got to do with him not being the greatest underdog, bro? Like,
Because it's the way.
Like Aaron said, as a Thunder fan, man, I got AI right now, and he winning the shit. Like that's what SGA type of vibe. You know, he making money in the fashion world. Like he damn tapping into different type of coaches and different type of fan bases. Like SGA really that guy. Like he really him. At the end of the day,
Respect.
Johnny, you looking like you itching to say something.
I thought I heard KD get mentioned. I heard he went to the Houston Rockets.
Nah, man, it's crazy how all of these trades are happening, right? Man, you got KD
Yeah.
to the Houston Rockets. You got what? We got 2 trades today. We got Drew Holiday back to the Portland Trail Blazers after
Kyrie
he was
back to
Portland.
Dallas.
Kyrie signed in right back to Dallas. You have Porzingis going to Atlanta.
Magic Man, age boy, as Miles would say.
Huh?
Desmond.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
I
You
couldn't-
got Desmond Bain. You got
Freaky
Desmond
P,
Bain
Freaky
to the
P.
Magic.
Hey man, that was a joke.
said,
That was a joke.
Man.
It was
Not
uncalled
Desmond
for.
Bain to the
My
Orlando
bad.
Magic.
Yeah, I'm
Respect,
just
man.
saying, Desmond Bain. He really raw at the end of the day. He's just one of those
But-
guys, just like the Dylan Brooks type of guy, though.
Let's
T-Rex.
talk-
We talking about T-Rex.
Now let's talk about KD. Let's talk about KD first. Let's talk about KD. What y'all think? I think with this type of move for the Rockets, like you have to win it this year. Like you get somebody like KD. The only young guy you give up is Jalen Green, right? So you got Amen Thompson, you got Jabari Smith, you got Tari Eason, Fred VanVleet most likely coming back. You got Sengun. You have to win. Y'all think they winning this year?
Hell no.
What does history
I'm
tell
heavy.
you, bro? What does history tell you about Kevin Durant when he goes to a different team?
He
It's
can't
a
leave.
lot of
He
it's a
can't
lot of
leave.
hype. It's a lot of
man.
hype, and he never gets the job done. Now, is that necessarily his fault? No, but history just tells you it won't work. And I think me personally, I think their success depends more on the leap of Amen Thompson and Jabari Smith more than the arrival of Kevin Durant. Like if Amen Thompson takes his game to the next level and develops that jump shot, he's already one of the top defenders, as we've seen. He made first team all defense as a second year player. If he developed that midi, he don't even need the 3 ball. He got the handle, he got the speed, the athletic ability to jump out the gym. If he develops that mid range, because it's going to be a problem if he don't develop it and they get to the playoffs again and he gets exposed like the Warriors did for most of that series. But like I said, if he gets it, then they become a scary team in my opinion. I don't think their rival, like obviously it's KD. You could argue top 10, top 15. Like he's going to make a difference, but at the end of the day, I feel like it come down to Amen Thompson, and if he takes that leap alongside Jabari Smith, who's been kind of in between with the Rockets right now, then they become a very, very scary team. And that's a big if, because we don't know.
Respect. I feel that. I think the biggest thing too is Şengün's footwork. Şengün get better with the footwork in the post, bro. He be actually kind of nasty because I be seeing little traces of Jokic in there when he was playing the Warriors, but he just ain't had no strength to really get to where he wanted to get to on the floor. And plus Jabari Smith and I forget other cat, but Jabari Smith, he definitely got to get more consistent because he didn't give them nothing. We know KD gonna come up and give like 25 plus a game. That's just what KD gonna do. Fred VanVleet on the other end too has to be the leader. I mean, on that team. Unfortunately, if KD does not step up to the occasion, because he's the one who actually did it in Toronto and actually did it against them on a different level. So I feel like if they could get that production from them guys, and then along with Thompson, like Aaron was saying, I feel like it's a good look for them. But they ain't beating my Lakers though. But it's a good look for them.
I think it looks good on paper, but it don't really. I mean, it's KD, like Aaron said, man. Like at the end of the day, man.
History tells bro. Like
exactly.
It is a great trade though. I think Houston is phenomenal for Houston. They give up a 10th pick, which it's the fucking NBA draft. Who gives a fuck? They give up 5 second-round picks. They'll be fine. All right, Jalen Green, yeah, he's good. He's 23 years old, but we know what he did or what he didn't do in the playoffs, right? So you got KD there. And another thing a lot of people ain't mentioning, Ime Udoka is their coach, and he is one of the best coaches in the NBA. So now he's got another piece, one of the best scorers in basketball. He's got all these young dudes around him. Van Vliet's won a ring. Now you got KD in there. He's reunited with Steven Adams. They're cooking with something. They're my favorite to win the West next year.
Hey, yeah. I like it, Johnny, because this is what I'm gonna add to that. We say the trail of KD, there's always a pattern to it, right? But not so fast, my friends. I think there's a piece of it that when the Suns got KD, they gave up everything. They gave up Mikal Bridges. They gave up picks. They gave up Cameron Johnson, right? I forgot other pieces that they gave up, but they did, right? He went to the Nets, and he was there with Kyrie, and him and Kyrie was cool, but they had a young Nick Claxton, Karis LeVert, just some pieces that they're role players, they're good, but they're not ascending players, So when they trade for Harden, they traded even more pieces. So when guys got hurt, KD had to do a lot of heavy lifting. When KD was hurt, Kyrie had to do a lot of heavy lifting. When you're on the Rockets and you're talking about the ascending player as in Amen Thompson, I think he's going to continue to get better. I think Sengun's going to continue to get better, right? Now, the thing about it is, like, when KD come, whose production is it going to hurt, right? And I don't see it hurting Sengun's hand because I think they will run a lot of coming out of the post, cut action and things like that. Amen Thompson, he don't really need the ball one-on-one. Like, he's more of a slasher. He could, he can get extra point possessions. Jabari Smith, he's already he's gonna stand in the corner, shoot. He was killing the Warriors in the playoffs. He should have played more, in my opinion. But hey, I'm glad he didn't because the Warriors won. But at the same time, and they have that defensive mindset already. So when you already have a top defensive team, and then you add KD on it, and all you have to give up was them picks, Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green. KD is already providing what Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks was going to do offensively. Now, defensively, he's just going to add in and come in and be an addition to that. I think I will call them the early favorites right now as well.
I got a question for you, though. I feel like Dylan Brooks kind of gets underappreciated a little bit. Not for what he brings statistically, but just from a mentality standpoint. Like, look at what he did for the Grizzlies. Like, their whole mentality was just a gritty team. And, yeah, the Grizzlies were cool this year. I think they were on a 50-win team. But they just didn't have that same mentality, especially when they brought it into the first round against the Thunder. Like, do you think that will play a factor? Because I feel like he was their personality for that his first year with the Rockets, and who brings that attitude for them? Like, now that he's gone, because there's not really a Draymond Green type-ish player for them in terms of just like, I'm the big dog here on this team. Like, you fuck with my youngins, you gotta fuck with me. Like, I don't see really who's that get up in. I didn't realize how important that type of player was until like I seen it agitate the Warriors at time. We see Draymond obviously agitate other teams with his talk and shit like that. So do you think that plays a factor into their defense going into the next year, or do you just think it is what it like? It's Dylan Brooks.
If they didn't have Amen Thompson, then probably. I'm not saying Amen Thompson is the person that is like he's Dylan Brooks where he's going to bring that attitude, but Amen Thompson could guard anybody in the league. Second, they have Ime Udoka, his foundation is defense, right? We've seen it with the Celtics when he started off with a young JB and a young Jalen Brown and Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart got a DPOY under Ime Udoka. Like, I feel like he is the person that preaches defense. You're going to get that out of him. Third, the Thunder just won the championship with nobody that's like Dylan Brooks. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Dylan Brooks does bring something to a certain type, but at the same time, when you got somebody like KD and you still got the depth, I don't think you really need that.
I respect it.
I hear all you.
Nah, he not like Dylan Brooks. He just a fucking.
And we got some shit to him though. If you remember when the Warriors were playing them, when he was on Toronto, he was a little pesty with Steph Curry. So he got some shit to him. Van Vliet. Yeah.
Fred, yeah.
Shoot, Van Vliet was in their ass, the Rockets' ass, like when they was bullshitting in the series, like he was getting in their ass. It was like, come on, it's y'all bullshitting. So I like what Fred bring.
He's a wild card though. My fault, Scoot.
I think Terry Easton's that guy too. I think I could see him coming in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's a dog. Every time he gets into the game, he takes advantage of his opportunity. Like
he fouls a lot.
He do foul a lot, but that's the type of player you need though. You know what I'm saying? So when I get in your grill, I don't care. I'll use these fouls. And I'm gonna use one of them and fuck you up. Like I see that dog in him, so I can see him sneaking into the starting lineup for real. You know, if a player goes down or if Jabari, like you said, is inconsistent, like if he starts fucking up, I can see Terry going in there and being that dog, that Draymond Green type of dude.
Yeah.
Heard you.
I think it's a little interesting how all of y'all has said that y'all think they're the favorites to now win the West because of Kevin Durant. I think that's a little hard to hear. I don't even think they're better than OKC right now with Kevin Durant. It's a lot of teams they're still not better than. I mean, Kevin Durant is a great player. I think he's one of the best players to ever touch a basketball. But I don't know if he's a team player. I'm not convinced of that at this moment.
All right, bro. We go a little too far there.
I'm not convinced.
I mean, it might not work. Like how when Kyrie went to a gritty Boston, it didn't work. You know, it could be the same thing for KD. He might be able to slow them down for real. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, he could take away shots from players. People ain't gonna get into their groove like how they used to. He can fuck that up, but it could click. And if it does click, I mean, I see them being a problem. But
Are we going off
hell no.
Are we going off the Phoenix thing, that failed experiment? Like,
I'm going off that Brooklyn
That's a big failed experiment, though.
But that's a horrible example to use, though. Like, because Phoenix was a bad team from it wasn't. KD, because KD still produced. That team was just bad. From that whole roster was trash. They dismantled that roster and expected a KD, Bradley Beal, who hasn't done anything since I haven't remembered since he was with John Wall. To be honest with you, he was killing. I mean, a little bit in Washington, but that's the last time I remember him being relevant. And you had a KD on top of that. It's like, bro, what you want them to do?
There was a team before Brad Beal, though. By the way. And that team was solid in terms of KD.
They were in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, they had Ayton and Chris Paul though too. Like they still had a solid five.
DeAndre
That was.
I'm not saying
they dismantled that team and didn't give him another chance. And then what we expect KD to kind of like pick the whole slack.
I would say this.
He still got Devin Booker next to him though. What are we talking about?
KD played with how many stars and got how many rings? That's a big question.
Tell me what his book done within the last, like what? He made, the finals, cool. But after that, what has he done?
I mean, outside of like average like 28, 29 a game, what you mean?
Quiet, bro. He ain't winning. You got two guys averaging 25 points and they ain't winning games, bro. 25 plus, that's crazy. I'm nothing on that.
I was trying to tell you
I
that
think
KD
the biggest difference between KD and Houston and
It was.
He
was the problem?
It can go really good. It can go really bad.
KD and Bradley Beal.
He was the problem?
KD and Bradley Beal's the problem.
No, it's just one of the two. It's not two. It's really one. It's
No,
one problem.
Brad Bill is for sure the problem because he's a number one trying to fit in a number three role, and I think not having a solid coach around that team, like that, they went through two coaches in 2 years, like not having a solid foundation to build off of, that fucked up the whole process. Like, so the Brad Bill thing, it looked great on paper, looks kind of similar to what we got in Houston a little bit. Like, we're gonna see. It looks great on paper, but at the end of the day, it gotta click. And if it don't click, whether because the coaches ain't being straight out of the hierarchy of like this is one, this is two, this is like, and make these motherfuckers fall in line and play their role, it's never gonna work. So I think Ime can put these dudes in check, but you got a team with a bunch of young dudes who just took the Warriors 7 games. Egos are gonna be high. There's gonna be players that think they need to be in this type of role and they get set down to this role, and we're gonna have to see how they take that. Like, a lot of that shit playing the factor because again, this is a very young team that just had a very short but very impressive playoff run. So we're gonna see like if people can hold their egos in check now that they got a top dog coming in. Obviously, people's gonna have to take a back seat, so we're just gonna have to see what it look like. I don't think it's gonna turn into anything. Like, it's gonna look great on paper, but I just don't see them in like a conference finals or the finals for sure at that. But we'll see.
I think I'm let me make these 2 points, and then Aaron, I believe you got a blind rank for us.
Yep.
But I think the biggest difference between his previous spots in Brooklyn and in Phoenix is the coaching, right? He has a coach that is stamped, right? Vogel and Budenholzer, they both won a championship, but nobody really thought it was them. You know, they was more so for the players, right? Giannis, we felt like Giannis was a big piece of it. Drew Holiday, before Budenholzer even got the championships, man, they was just underperforming. Frank Vogel, that was the 2020 bubble. Everybody kind of, they wishy-washy about that and all. But he has a coach. Second, he will be in a defensive system that he hasn't had since Golden State. The Nets wasn't known as a defensive team when he got there. Phoenix damn sure wasn't known as a defensive team with Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges out the, I don't know who knocked it like that.
Hey, Tom,
Damn. Oh, shit. That shit threw me off. But when we have somebody like Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson and you replace it with KD, you took two of your biggest defensive pieces.
The police was knocking at your door. You was like, hold on.
Hey, episode 1, we
What I do?
Jesus Christ.
The SWAT raid, man.
Damn, man.
But I hope I got my point across. I'm gonna just give it to you, Aaron. You got it.
Oh, we on blind rankings. I bet. So,
Oh man.
yo,
My bad,
I'm gonna let y'all.
my bad.
I'm gonna let y'all gather yourselves real quick.
Oh, man. That was uncalled for.
For real. I'm in the play.
Oh man.
Hey, y'all.
I wasn't
watch
even
that.
gonna call it
Just
out.
cut that. Just cut that part out.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, that might go in the blooper reel for sure.
Oh man,
I
that's
bet.
funny.
All right, so I made a bunch of these last night. I really like this one though. Blindly rank these number twos, aka as we call Robins. So the Robins to the Batmans. Y'all ready? At
One
number
through five.
Wait, you gotta explain how it works, though.
Is this NBA or NFL?
Yeah. So in the NBA, obviously, the number two on the team, obviously, like fucking Paul George on the Clippers when he was with Kawhi. We just nicknaming these dudes Robins. It's gonna be 5 players. Pick them, put them, rank as a group collectively. Rank them where y'all think they should go, and then I'll move on to the next dude. And so coming in at number 1 on the Robin list, we got Jimmy Butler.
5.
4.
I say 4.
4.
Is it for this
What's
upcoming season?
Well, just right now.
Currently.
Yeah, just right now.
For the Warriors.
4.
I say 4.
Okay, we got Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Buckish,
He going
number
5.
4.
Wait. They said 5?
Oh,
Yeah,
5?
Yeah,
That's
I think
crazy.
it's
I
gonna
ain't
be.
gonna lie. That's
I think it's
crazy.
gonna be somebody. I think it's somebody gonna be weaker. I don't think it's gonna be the top 5 Robins.
Yeah.
If it was the top 5 Robins, sure, but I think
Nah,
it's gonna be
yeah.
somebody below Jimmy. And Aaron kind of giving a hint that it may be a weaker
There
person.
it could be. It's really up to y'all. So
I think 4 is safe because we could kind of.
Are we
Give
talking
room to
about why
somebody
we
that
voting for
come-
what number? Because I can give you the reason why.
I mean, you can make
No,
it quick though.
I was just gonna convince. We could go 5.
5.
I'm going
That's
5,
fine.
bro. What was produced this year? I don't know.
Say no more. We on to the next. Number 2. We got Jalen Brown of the Boston Celtics.
4.
3.
I'm putting him at 4 to be
1.
safe.
3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Put him
3.
at 4 to be safe.
So we got 2 4s. What you said, Scoob? You said 4?
I said 4. Yep.
You said 4. Me and Johnny
majority.
said 3.
I said 3.
Oh,
Yeah, Zach, 3
Zach
or
said
4.
1. Zach said
I say
1.
1. They got
I said 1. Aaron,
They gotta-
figure out that average, bro.
1 is crazy.
Nah, y'all got.
Jalen Brown
I
is
got
man.
2. I got.
Celtics had
Put it-
squad, and when
hey,
Jason
put
go
it-
down, you can't step up and give me a bro.
Jalen Brown
put
is
it-
on the team on his own. What are we
Put
talking
it down
about?
to 3,
He
Aaron.
did it.
3.
Put it. Yeah, we got 3.
Jalen Brown going in number 3.
Oh, you just gotta show the watch,
Crazy.
man.
That's crazy.
AP on that.
Our number.
Yeah,
Our number 3rd.
Shades off for that.
Yeah, I did. Jalen Brown, y'all playing Jalen Brown right now.
It's
Y'all are
it's
playing.
too late. He had 3. So y'all
You said
got
3,
yeah,
bro.
three,
That's
yeah.
not
Y'all
bad.
got Jalen Brown at 3, Jimmy Buckets at 5, which is crazy, but we moved. The 3rd player on the list, Jamal Murray.
Oh my God! See, that's why we should have put Jimmy Butler at 4, but Jamal at 4 for
4.
sure.
Jamal at 4.
Jamal at 4 is a good spot.
That's what Jamal
Over
is
Jimmy?
15 buckets. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
As a second, as a
Jamal-
Robin?
Jimmy Buckets get you 10 and 15.
It don't even matter. It's nothing to argue. So we got
Jimmy
Jamal
Buckets
at
get you 10
4.
and 15.
We got Jamal at 4. Your 4th
Jamal
player,
really should be 2.
Kyrie. Your 4th player, Kyrie Irving.
1.
Kyrie.
2.
Kyrie is not a
Kyrie.
Robin, bro. Why are we playing Kyrie?
He's not even a
Yes, he-
oh
For
my
the
God.
most part of the season, he was
He's
playing.
not a-
He was
is
playing with
not a
Luka.
Robin.
He was playing with Luka for the most part of the season.
Don't mean
And
he's
AD,
Robin.
when he was
He's Robin.
playing, I
That
mean, he
means
played
he's
with
better than
And he might be a number 2 to AD. Like, let's be real, bro.
Kyrie
He
is
is
top
number
3
three.
point guard.
He's a Robin.
He's not a
Number
Robin.
two.
Let's put him at 1.
He's
Put
a
him at one.
I'm putting
Robin.
him at 1.
How
He's
is
a
he number
Robin.
2 when
I
how's he
say
number 2 when
2.
he got no?
He the best Robin. He can kill him.
We got if we
Yeah,
got
but
He's
so-
the best
so-
Robin. Then I put
We
him at 1.
can put it at 1. We can put
Kyrie
it
at
at 1.
1.
Kyrie
We
at
can put it at
1.
1.
Kyrie at 1.
disrespect.
All right,
We
Put it at
bet.
1.
So we got one more player left. I'm gonna go down the list. I got Kyrie Irving at number 1, Jalen Brown number 3, Jamal Murray number 4, Jimmy Buckets
That too.
is crazy at number 5. For y'all number 2 player, the number 2 Robin, we got Jalen Williams, J-Dub of the OKC
I like that.
Thunder.
I like him
That's
at
nice.
2.
That's
I
nice.
can live with that.
I like him at 2.
And
Not
that's
bad.
why,
That's
not crazy
That's why I
to
had
say.
at
That's
number
not
2 on my
crazy
head the whole time.
Yeah.
That's a good ass ranking.
That's a
I-
good
I don't know about Jimmy Buckets.
I
good
think
player.
Jimmy Butler at 4 would have made it perfect, and Jamal at 5. I'm still questionable about Kyrie at 1, but I'm good with this list. Instead of
Who
Jimmy
would you
Butler at
have?
4.
Who would you have put at 1?
JB, if
JB?
knowing the
JB as a Robin.
All right, bet.
I will never
but I'm
disrespect
good
that.
with the,
As a single, like when he really got his own
Robin for
team,
sure. A terrible Robin.
this is he one of the ones. But as a Robin to Steph, bro, he didn't really do much this year. I don't know what did we do? We didn't do nothing. We didn't do nothing respectful.
Whoa. What do you mean? What did he do? What
He
do
did
you
a
mean?
lot.
What did he do?
He
We
saved
was
the
the
season.
12th. We was the 11th seed before we got Jimmy Butler. We made one trade, and we got top the 7th seed.
7. Yeah.
Let's be real.
We're
Bro.
rescuing
We-
about a
we
seven.
was-
11 games over 500.
I'm not saying Jimmy weak. I'm for sure not saying Jimmy
He's
weak.
not weak.
I'm just thinking
He's not weak.
He's older. He's an older version of Jimmy.
I'm good with him at 4. Jamal Murray.
Just don't say
Jamal
what
Murray
did he
averaged
do.
21 points, my bro. Like,
No, first of all, Jamal Murray's not playing no defense. Second,
he gonna hit that game-winning shot, though.
He
That's
gonna
fine.
kill.
He
He
gonna
gonna
hit
kill.
that shot.
and
He gonna kill when
Jimmy
he
Butler. Jimmy Butler will also hit a game-winning shot. The thing is, the impact that Jimmy
what
brings
Jimmy
to the
do?
game.
Bro,
Bro,
he kind of disappeared in the playoffs.
We needed him to get a bucket this year, and he could not get us a bucket.
Did he disappear? Or was he?
First of all, he got a
Let's
major
not-
injury and still
Yeah.
was an impact.
He not gonna
I mean,
disappear.
yeah, for real. I don't think it's late. It's half a season to get it. Next season Jimmy gonna step up. He gonna be that guy, but it just he got to fit into a new system in 3 months. Like,
If
And he did that perfectly. Like we looked
He
great
did.
with
He did a
Jimmy
good-
Butler. Like
I
you
gotta
would have
say
thought
that.
he was
He-
there the whole year. For real.
if
Like I said-
anybody was
like I said, I'm
inconsistent,
not-
it was Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray's been inconsistent his whole career. His whole
he
career.
averaged 21 points,
He's just been he's really been a playoff guy. That's when I had that
and that's what
hot
counts.
take. That's when I had that hot take of like
Jamal
is
Murray
he
is
like a
not
superstar
inconsistent,
because
bro.
like
let's not do that.
regular season Jamal is so different from postseason Jamal. Like it's crazy. It's
It was
probably
the same
playoff
versus-
I take the
monster.
postseason every time.
That was weak.
I'll take the post. If you can average more than 14, more than 20, shit, I'm cool with
So
that.
answer this: you take a postseason Jamal or postseason Jimmy Butler?
Well, see, Jamal.
Oh no,
What?
Jimmy, my bad.
I
Jimmy.
was about to
No,
say,
you're right.
Jimmy,
No,
my bad. No,
you
no,
see
no.
how his heart said Jamal? It's dinner Jamal.
Nah,
He's thinking his mind saying
nah.
Jimmy.
Let me.
His
I want
heart
to see
said
Jamal. I want to see
Because
Jamal
really
be
that
a
guy in the
Batman on the
postseason.
team, and let's see what goes.
Jimmy brought that weak ass Heat team to the finals twice, bro. Like,
And Jimmy
lost
was
it,
That
but
was
easy that
in
year.
the bubble though.
both
No.
years they did it. Like,
Oh yeah.
One year was
both-
a bubble, one year
both-
wasn't though.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not saying Jimmy's ass. He's 5 on that list. Like,
Yeah. He one of the ones
It's all right.
individually.
Whoa. Hopefully this one TikTok,
He-
the first TikTok, gets some traction so we can really see how the people feel about that one. So
next season, Jimmy's gonna step up. He played with the system. He knows the system. He had a whole offseason work with the system.
Facts.
He gonna kill next year. I just
Facts.
think as of last year and what I saw from the postseason, I gotta put him 5 on that list.
Facts.
for sure.
Jamal got hell of a resume, hitting game-winning shots and shit. So I gotta give it to Jamal for.
Okay, I respect it. I like the list. Let's give the NFL a little bit of love. Recently, Jair Alexander, he has signed on to the Ravens. Got released by the Packers, right? So he was kind of shopping around. There was teams like the Rams, the 49ers, and other teams involved trying to get him, but he landed with the Ravens. He's an ex-teammate of Lamar. Does Jair Alexander with Jair Alexander on the team, should the expectation be for the Ravens to win the Super Bowl? Now, of course, in the locker room, they're going to say our expectation to win the Super Bowl, but should they be the favorite to win the Super Bowl this year?
Yes.
Nope.
Why you say that?
Yes. I think with Jair Alexander, they get a huge addition to that defensive backfield, which they already had All-Pro Marlon Humphreys. But they get a playmaker back there who a guy, as soon as he gets his hands on the ball, he trying to get to that end zone. Or if he see you running with the ball in front of him, he going to try to take that thing from you. Not many guys like that. There are a lot of guys like that in the league, but Baltimore just got themselves another one. I mean, their defensive secondary was top 10 in the league. What they had, who's their linebacker right now, middle linebacker? But they had a hell of a defense. Roquan Smith on defense, on the defensive end, bro. They got some thugs, bro. And on top of that, you already have that chemistry with Lamar coming in. I'm not.
Why they gotta be thugs?
Man, respect. Hey,
You know what the podcast? You know what the podcast is called, bro.
Hey,
They could
it's
be some
uncalled
dogs.
for.
Damn, nigga.
But hear me out. Hear me out.
Damn
man.
goons.
Hear me out.
They got
Hear
college
me out.
degrees and
I
shit.
don't-
Charity foundation.
I don't want no nerds on my defense. I'm gonna call them
No,
thugs. They're gonna
facts.
hit you. You try me. You gonna try me. You gonna hit me. We protecting our turf, so we thugging on the field. You feel me? So that's my logic behind it. But you feel me? I think that defense is full of that, and then also too, like I said, you get the chemistry with Lamar coming in. So I think that might do something special for them. So it's fair to say they're Super Bowl favorites, in my opinion.
I'm
Go
glad
ahead,
you
John.
mentioned Lamar.
Hold on.
No, we're not gonna make it.
Go ahead, coach.
Shit.
Talk to us.
The Ravens staple of their franchise, they've been around since I think 1996, has always been good defense. When they won the Super Bowl in 2000, they had the number one defense. When they won the Super Bowl in 2012, they had a top 5 defense. They had Trent Dilfer at quarterback the first Super Bowl. They had Joe Flacco. Not overwhelming quarterbacks, but they were just good enough to get the job done with the defense that they were provided. You think back to Tom Brady. He's won 7 Super Bowls, obviously. 5 of those Super Bowls, he had a top 5 defense. Peyton Manning, when he finally got over the hump in 2006, he had a top 5 defense. And then when he won it again in Denver, top 5 defense. Aaron Rodgers, his only Super Bowl, he had a top 5 defense. Lamar Jackson has had a top 5 defense 4 times in his career. And he's only reached the AFC Championship game 1 time. So, yes, they should be at least in the top 3 of favorites to win the Super Bowl. They're going to have a top 5 defense. They're going to be in every game. They're going to be competitive no matter who they play. The groundbreaking deal, the bottom line is if the quarterback play is up to par or not in the playoffs. That's all it is. Because you have top 5 defenses year in, year out. Now you have a running back who just almost ran for 2,000 yards. You have a receiver in Zay Flowers. You have Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely at tight end. You have a great offensive line. There's no weaknesses on the team. 0. There's no reason they should not be the favorite, but the only reason they're not is the quarterback position. And let's be honest about that. So the Ravens defense is going to be off the hook this year. Marlon Humphrey, Jair, Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, it's going to be crazy. Can Lamar protect the ball, not turn it over in crucial times? We'll find out. That's going to be the conversation.
I agree. I think.
Go ahead.
Hold on, Zach. I'm gonna say no, but for a different reason. Yes, Lamar is a different quarterback in the regular season than he is in the postseason, and that's obviously been his biggest thing. But the reason why I don't think the Ravens are gonna win a Super Bowl, they might be favored. I don't think they're gonna get there. There's this dude that you guys are very familiar with in the AFC West, Patrick Mahomes. That shit runs through him. And as long as he is in the AFC, I find it hard after we have a big sample size of it now, bro. Like, the only person to get through him has only been 2 people, Tom Brady, Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow is looking iffy on if that team even gets to the playoffs. The quarterback play thing, we've seen Josh Allen play phenomenal against Patrick Mahomes, and he still doesn't get there. And so you could play your best, and it still don't matter because the dudes in red and white is different. And I think they'll probably run the AFC for a few more years before another team dethrones them. I think that's just how good they are on both sides of the ball. Yes, Patrick Mahomes plays a big part in it, but that defense being able to obtain their DC for as long as they did, for as high as their defense has been, he should have been a head coach by now. But the fact that Spags is still there calling shots, I don't see any team beating him. It don't matter how good you play. The Super Bowl or the AFC, it runs through Kansas City through the foreseeable future, and that's why I don't think the Ravens is going to beat them. I don't think the Bills are going to beat them. I don't think the Bengals are going to beat them. I don't think Texans are going to beat them. It's really just the Kansas City Invitational at this point, dog. And do I want to see Lamar get there? Hell yeah. But until he shows us differently that he can, like you said, take care of the ball, I just don't see it happening, and I just don't see it happening with any quarterback or any team in the AFC. So that's why I say no.
Can we go back to the playoffs where Lamar drove them down the field to win the game, and Mark Andrews drops the game time pass? Why are we blaming? It's not Lamar's fault. Why is Lamar even?
What happened in the first half of that game?
We talking about the
I'm
first half.
I'm just asking.
Okay, it wasn't pretty. I'm gonna tell you that it wasn't pretty.
All right.
But he did as a quarterback. He got them to the door. The rest of the team didn't show up, and that seems to be the reoccurring factor every year. I mean, Marquise Brown last year? Or Zay Flowers fumbles the ball at the goal line. That's not on him. That's on the team. I feel like he does what he needs to do. It's the rest of the team got to lock in. The defense carries their weight, but if the team don't want it as bad, you're not gonna get there.
I think that.
I don't think Jair really changing nothing. To be honest, Jair not gonna change nothing. He's still struggling with that knee. We don't know what he's like until he gets on that field. Maybe that's why Green Bay let him go. So I don't think he's gonna change it. I don't know. And there is a Patrick Mahomes infight, but you got Josh Allen too. You got young CJ Stroud. You know what I'm saying? There's some dogs in the AFC. AFC the must-watch TV now. So
yeah,
I
think the biggest thing, man, is Aaron brought it up. He said, Pat Mahomes, when you have that guy, there's a big cloud when it comes to Pat Mahomes, Andy Reeves, and the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Yeah, and the crazy part is Pat Mahomes haven't been performing well lately as he's been opposed other seasons. That defense has been
crazy,
carrying them in a lot of games. And it's crazy to say a team is carrying Pat Mahomes, but if you watch the games, man, the Chiefs offense is just be like, man, what's going on? And they still win. Like, they got their first loss late in the season last year, and they look like average. They look average. Boy. I would say this, though. Brady had that same type of factor. The Patriots had that same type of factor when it came to Peyton Manning, right? And Peyton Manning, you had to break through. You had to find a way to break through. And that's what Lamar Jackson has. Obviously, Josh Allen too. But since we're talking about Lamar Jackson, that's what he has to do. He just got to break through that motherfucker. Like, he got to look at Pat Mahomes in the eye and be like, y'all, like, we winning. Fuck that. Y'all not losing because of me. It's we winning this matchup, and I don't care how we do it. Like, having that type of mentality. And honestly, in the playoffs, it's been kind of underwhelming watching Lamar just because you just never see him put a complete game together. And I totally get a playoff game is much harder than an NFL game, right? But, you know, especially what Scoop just said, the AFC is monsters. If you know the AFC is monsters, there's no margin for error. And with the talent that you have as Lamar, I think Lamar is the second best quarterback in the league. With the talent you have with Lamar, you just have to break through. And you got D. Henry. Like, all the talent you already said, they added D-Hop. I'm not expecting much from D-Hop, but you added you added a veteran presence that, you know, Zay Flowers and Bateman, they just paid Bateman, right? So you have all the tools, but I think if it's hard for me, if he don't break through this year, it's going to be hard for me to see he's going to ever break through, because you just drafted Malachi Starks, who was a stud in Georgia. Now, college is a lot different from the NFL, but when you're coming into a defense like that, it should be easy for him to plug and play. You got Nate Wiggins on the other side of Jair Alexander, right? I do think Jair Alexander will make an impact. Hopefully he's healthy all the way through, but I think it's going to be hard to score on that team. I think the Ravens should be favored to win the championship, but if the Ravens don't win the championship, I think it will be on one person, right? And I think it will be Lamar Jackson. And once again, I love Lamar, but there's a lot of games he's just been underwhelming from a playoff standpoint. And if he don't break through, he's going to be the NFL comparison of James Harden, Russell Westbrook, all of these regular season guys that's put up all these crazy numbers, have these crazy highlights. But if he don't go through the chest of Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, he's just not going to be the top of the cream of the crop.
I gotta say this.
But with that though, hold on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I gotta say this. I think first off, I agree with DeAndre or Scott. I say, like, you know what I mean. I don't think Jair is going to be the reason why they win a ship. I think that y'all are forgetting a lot of teams out there. Like, I don't think the Chiefs are the number one contender, and nor do I think the Ravens are. I think it's crazy that we're counting out the Eagles after they just came off the ship win, and their team is not broken at all, and they're not lacking in any position right now. They're a fully stacked team, and they're performing very well in every position. I don't know how we're not trusting Saquon and Jalen Hurts right now. I think that's insane. I can't lie to you. Like, I don't know what.
I think it's getting to that. We already know Eagles going to have that shit on lock. So
Chill out.
You know, they ain't worried about no red and gold.
On paper, what's the real difference? What's the real difference between the Ravens and the Eagles on paper?
Ravens has the best quarterback in the league. They don't have the best coach.
Receiving quarterback too.
Okay. So the Eagles, AJ Brown is obviously better than any receiver the Ravens have. But my point is this: they're both stacked from top to bottom. There's no gaps on that team, on either of these teams, Eagles, Ravens. The difference between Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson is Jalen Hurts does what he's asked to do, and that's what he does. He don't do too much. He ain't out there trying to throw over 300 yards. He ain't out there running in circles, nothing like that. Whatever they ask him to do, he plays within the scheme. That's what he does. If they go 3 and out, that's fine. We're going to play defense. We'll get the ball back. I'll give it to Saquon. I'll throw my RPOs. I'll do it that way. The issue with
how you know
Lamar
he don't do what John asked him to do?
Like, what are we talking about?
Well, the issue with Lamar.
What do you mean by that?
How do you know he don't do what John asked him to do? I'm pretty sure John said be you.
The issue with Lamar is he tries to put that cape on and tries to save the day. My example is this. Against the Bills in that first half, he's running around in circles and he fumbles the ball on his own. Bills recover, it turns into points. So my point is this, is like, you want to point out Mark Andrews dropping the ball at the end of the game. How did they get there? Why were they losing? Because he does stuff like that. Protect the ball, especially in the playoffs. That's why the Ravens won with Trent Dilfer as a quarterback and Flacco and all these types of teams. Like, that's why the Eagles are winning with Jalen Hurts. He don't turn the ball over. He ain't trying to do too much. He knows what he has around him.
I got a question for him.
Go ahead.
If there's one quarterback to beat the Eagles, who would you pick?
To beat the Eagles from the AFC?
One quarterback. In the AFC, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be Patrick Mahomes.
What? I'm pretty sure. Okay. I see it. Lamar. You can have all these guys rushing. It don't matter. Lamar gonna find a way to get away from Jalen, big Jalen, and people coming off the edge. Lamar gonna find a way. Patrick can't. I think Lamar's the only quarterback to beat the Eagles for real, like single-handedly. I can throw, I can run, I can pass. Your edge pressure, your interior pressure, it don't matter. I'm gonna extend the play and I'm gonna make a play. I just need Mark Andrews to catch the goddamn ball.
Here's what I kind of want to get into, since we kind of got into a little personnel with both of their receivers and running backs. I do think Jalen Hurts does have the edge. Like, it's not even like a slight edge. Like, his supporting cast is by far superior to what Lamar has. And that's why I feel like Jalen Hurts, you feel like he doesn't have to do much. He literally doesn't. You have AJ Brown, you got Devontae Smith. I think you could compare Saquon to Derek. That equals each other out. But I don't view Zay Flowers as a guy I can depend on to get open whenever he wants. Like, he has his moments, but AJ Brown, I feel like he could get open with separation. He's a 50-50 guy. Devontae almost feels the same way. Outside of Mark Andrews, I don't really see that on the Ravens team, and that's why I feel like Lamar is pressing like the way he does sometimes, which I don't agree with, because obviously it's not going to equate to no wins, as he has no Super Bowl appearances, so it bites him in the ass. But I do feel like he has to put that cape on more than Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts, like I said, has a all-pro receiver in Jalen, or the fuck is this nigga name? AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. So I do think that he doesn't have as big a burden as Lamar, because I think if you swap quarterbacks and put Lamar on the Eagles and Jalen on the Ravens, you get the same outcome for both. I think Lamar damn near win the shit with the Eagles, and I think Jalen might struggle with the Ravens, which is he struggled early in his career when he didn't have AJ Brown, that go-to receiver. We've seen that.
Mind you, he went 41-4 with those receivers that you don't know. 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Lamar Jackson.
I think it's.
I'm just saying he don't have help, and he's still putting.
I think it's easy.
He don't have help if he's putting up those numbers like that. It just
He's that
doesn't add up to me.
He's him.
I feel
capital H, capital I, capital N.
His running back ran for 2,000 yards.
Huh?
His running back ran for 2,000 yards last season.
I'm just saying he threw for 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
Like, how does this narrative that he has no help get created? I don't understand.
No, I don't think he.
I think a quarterback needs a reliable receiver. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't have that.
You don't have a.
We just talked about
who's the number one receiver?
Zay Flowers.
That's not
Who's Zay
reliable.
Flowers?
No,
Guy that fumbled away their Super Bowl chance.
Don't
We ain't
do that.
Who is Zay Flowers?
Let's be real. Let's be real. He's not comparable, or
We don't gotta do that.
He's not no AJ. Like, yeah,
every quarterback has
He's
one.
not even top 20.
They have two.
Top
They have 2
top
really
10.
good tight ends as
we
well.
talked about
They
though.
have
Like
2
you
really good tight
guys
ends.
all touched on the fact that Lamar has turned the ball over too much. He hasn't turned the ball over all that much in the season at all.
The team.
No, we're talking about playoffs though. We're talking about the playoffs.
Even in the
We're not
playoffs,
talking
his
about
turnover
regular season.
percentage in the playoffs wasn't that bad. So yeah, he did have some turnovers.
I'm pretty sure it's bad, dog. I could look it up and we could.
He does not take care of the ball in the playoffs.
He doesn't. But
He don't.
I feel like
That's
he
why
does. He does need to put that cape on. I don't think it's as simple as, and maybe that could be a coaching thing where it's like, why aren't we running Derrick Henry as much as we can? But I don't think he ran the ball enough in the divisional game against the Bills, and that's a coaching thing because it was not like they had to pass the ball to stay in the game. Like the game was in a reachable. It was reachable, and you go away from 22. That's coaching. You can't put coaching on your quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
But when you're losing by multiple scores, you will get away from the run game.
Yeah,
I mean, he's scrambling around, fumbling because nobody's open.
What was the score to that?
What you expect?
What was the score to that game?
Throw the
I
ball
think
out
he
of bounds
needs to
or sit there and
Throw it out of bounds, punt the ball, let your defense play.
I think he needs
make
to
the
find
fight
the
about
The
balance.
defense was getting walked down that game.
What
by
does
Josh Allen,
Patrick
though.
Mahomes do, bro? Patrick Mahomes, he also dances around and stuff like that. If it ain't there, he throws it away. I'll play defense because they know it's a long game.
But Lamar's shown that he can run for those tugs with the you know what I'm saying? He can
He
make
sure
it play
has.
happen. But he
Lamar
can
had
absolutely.
2 turnovers last
Crazy
season.
part-
Patrick Mahomes got Travis Kelce. He has a reliable shoulder.
The crazy part about all of this was 2 playoffs ago. I vividly remember there'll be running lanes for Lamar Jackson, and he was just not take them right, and he could extend drives and things like that. And then last season, we felt like he was doing that a little bit too much, right? So it's like, how do you balance that? And I think some of the parts is like, sometimes you got to be yourself and you got to be Lamar Jackson, but you got to recognize. I think it's a mental game with it, right? Where I know there's a lot of people that's doubting me. I know I should be winning this game. I know I'm the better quarterback, but sometimes you in your own head. They're not calling me a pocket QB, so let me stay in the pocket and make a pass, because if I just start running, it's just going to be a narrative of just me being a running QB. So I think I think he's just got to. That's what I'm saying. I think his mindset, he just got to break through and say, I'm taking that motherfucker down. Like
just
that's on me.
Do it. Got you
right.
2 MVPs. You feel me? Like I don't see. It is for sure a mental thing. You could tell it's messing with his head because that's all he's talking about at the start of the season. And when they go into the postseason, he's aware that he has bad playoff games. And then I feel like the moment some shit goes sideways, you can kind of see it. Like I think when he fumbled that ball, that dude went crazy on the sideline. Like he was pissed. It was just like, dog, like I feel like football, and Johnny, you all know this. Like when you are not thinking and you just playing, like you play faster. I feel like you just think way too much about not making a mistake. And then what do we see? A dumbass interception, or like Lamar Jackson fumbling the ball with nobody around him. Like when do we ever see some shit like that? Like So once he gets out of his head, I feel like it's almost getting to the point where it's almost a lost cause because like this is a repeated pattern over 3 years. That's too many playoff scenarios where it's just like you're fucked up mentally, and it'll get to a point where he'll just never overcome it because we've seen great quarterbacks never. I won't say great, but very high tier quarterbacks never overcome that. Like Phillip Rivers, as good as he was, he never overcame some shit like that. And I just think if he doesn't get it out the way right now, this next season,
it's gonna be ugly.
It could be a wrap for Lamar
because it's gonna be some young quarterbacks coming in.
Exactly.
Right. I think it's that thing where it's the reason why he didn't go first round or he didn't go so high. It's because like, oh, I told you he gonna throw some dumbass passes. I told you he was gonna run the ball too much. It's that shit, and I feel like that's why he be crashing down the sideline. He's like, man, I'm trying to prove all these motherfuckers wrong. And like Anthony said, it's a mental game, and it's killing him. And it might miss that window because of it. Hopefully not though.
What window is there?
Sure.
He has
Well,
two.
we'll use that to conclude the pod, y'all, man.
Not so
My
fast.
bad. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead, Zach.
We ain't done
Zach,
yet.
There's
Zach,
no
you get the last.
saying
You get
we
the
ain't
last
done
point.
yet.
There's
Zach,
no
you
window
get the
to
last
miss.
point. Go
He
ahead.
got 2 MVPs. What window is there to miss? What does he have to prove to anybody? Nothing. His numbers were crazy last year. Regular season.
Like,
You got to get a ring, bro.
I don't even think he has to get a ring. He just needs to get to the shit like the Super Bowl. Like, show that you can get that. I don't even care if he wins.
He needs that ring.
Nah, bro, it's
If you don't
hard.
get that, they gonna
Bro,
call him
it's
Cam, bro.
At least
hard,
like
bro.
AFC Championship. At least
It's
the AFC
hard.
Championship.
He's been, but it's just hard to win a ring. So I'm not going. And like to win a
Football.
ring, you need all 53 niggas on the roster, bro. Like it's not just
And the
one
coach.
dude. But if you can get to the chip, I feel like that's just the hurdle he has to worry about. Then we'll worry about the ring shit another time. But like,
It ain't happening.
just get there, bro. Like that's all I'm.
When your
all
defense
you
don't
get.
force no
The AFC
turnovers in
Championship
crucial
is
games,
valid.
bro.
I'll be valid
What can
against
you-
the Patrick Mahomes.
Respect.
My bad, Mo. Yeah, my bad.
Go. I was just saying, when your defense can't force any turnovers in major games like that, what do you expect? Like we said, Mahomes' defense steps up when it's time. Well, where's Lamar's defense when it's time? They get the stops, but sometimes the turnovers are more needed than this. I mean, same thing, but the turnovers mean they give you more energy. They energize you because it's like, okay, I got some trust. My guys showed up. They got the ball back for me. It's time to go eat. Like, and they made it off a big play. It takes wind out of the team, and I think he needs that from his defense.
I got some
Which I think
stats for
Jair
you,
can
though,
do
bro.
for him.
I got some stats for you, bro. Like,
Thanks to wrap that back around, Don Juan.
I hear you, but Lamar 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions in 8 games, bro. You can't defend that in the playoffs, bro. Like, it's as simple as that.
That's horrible.
That's his playoff stats.
That's his playoffs.
We're talking about we're looking at it as a total. Though. You can't. Of course, it's gonna look bad like that.
That's what.
How
That's
else
the whole
do you wanna
point,
look
though.
at it?
Right? It's bad, but it's like,
fair.
I'm not gonna sit here and blame like can his defense be better? Yes. Should motherfuckers catch the ball to tie the game to you know what I'm saying send it into overtime? Yes. But as Johnny's point, like he's not perfect either. It's not like we could just sit here and be like, man, like Lamar teammates they fail him. Like we have to put some blame on him too for turning the ball over, bro. Because as we know, that pill is very special in the playoffs, and you need every possession. So that's just me playing both sides. Like I want to see Lamar win it, but I got to be able to, you know what I'm saying, be critical when it's needed. So my fault. And go ahead, take it out, brother.
Nah, you ain't at fault. Nobody is at fault, man. I love it. But that is going to conclude the Uncalled For podcast. There was some uncalled for things that was said at times. There was some great things that was said in times. But, man, this is what we do every day. So we might as well just put it on film and let y'all enjoy it. So go ahead and like, subscribe, share it, do what you got to do. And we'll see y'all next week.
So on.
Sure.
Books.